What is going on, college basketball fans? Welcome back to another video. It is Monday, which means it is time to update our Bracketology Power 35 rankings for week 4 of college basketball. Big week coming up. The Players Era event is happening starting today, this Monday, and just a big week, a feast week, college basketball, one of the best weeks in this sport. So we should have a lot of changes come next week. We still got a good amount this week. Subscribe if you guys are new. Drop these every single week along with a bunch of other college basketball content, and let's get right into it. All right, guys, as always, I'm going to give you guys the entire Power 35 and the teams to watch all at once, and we will break it down. Our top 4 actually do stay the same. Purdue, very impressive against Texas Tech, blew them out, showed their potential of how dominant of a team that they can be. Closer than I thought against Memphis, but still a 2-0 week. They're undefeated with wins over Texas Tech and Alabama, which was a true road game in that one. Very impressive start for Purdue. Arizona, number 2, they might have the best resume on paper of any team. I mean, they beat Florida in the opener, they beat UCLA, and they beat UConn on the road already. 3 very impressive wins already to start the season. Koa Pete, Jaden Bradley, that team plays very well. I mean, I'm very impressed with the start Arizona has had. They are a real threat this year to go deep in the tournament and maybe even compete for the championship. They are very, very good. Houston here at number 3. Still, their only real test was last week against Auburn, but they did still have a 1-0 week. They're going to have some tests coming up here in the Players Era tournament, so I'm very excited to see them go up against some more top-level competition. For now, they stay put here at number 3. Number 4, we do have the Duke Blue Devils. 2-0 week against Niagara and Howard this week. Still just dominating the teams they're supposed to. That's what you expect from Duke. That is what they are doing. The top 4 remain the same. Number 5, we do have a new number 5 jumping in here, and that is Louisville. Louisville has an impressive win over Kentucky already this year. Maybe a little bit less impressive after Kentucky got beat down pretty bad by Michigan State, but still, nonetheless, Louisville has looked very impressive. Another good win against Cincinnati this week. Michael Brown Jr., very good freshman in a very good, maybe the best of all time, freshman class. Michael Brown has been awesome. Ryan Conwell has been very, very good as well. Alabama here at number 6. They're my highest one-loss team, and that's because they have played the toughest schedule in college basketball so far. A win over St. John's, also a win over Illinois, which wasn't a true road game, but they did play in the Chicago Bulls Stadium, which obviously Chicago in Illinois, closer to Illinois than it is Alabama. So neutral site win against Illinois and a win over St. John's, and their only loss being to my number 1 team in the country, Purdue. Even though it was at home, I still think that Alabama deserves to be in the top 10, and I got them here at number 6, jumping up 2 spots this week after that win against Illinois. They are also in the Players Era tournament, so more tests for them coming here soon. First up against Gonzaga in the first round. That is going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to see Gonzaga go up against more top-level competition as well. We'll get to them, but Michigan State has shown they are able to beat some top-level competition. They have 2 really good wins over SEC teams in Kentucky and Arkansas already this year. That Kentucky win was very, very impressive, and if Michigan State can shoot the 3 ball like they did against Kentucky, they are going to be one of the best teams in the country. And I think that they are going to be a Final 4 level team if they can continue to shoot the 3 ball like that. Jackson Kohler has been very impressive so far this year. Jeremy Fears has been an amazing playmaker. Cohen Carr has been awesome. If the players around them are shooting like that, Michigan State's going to be a very, very big problem for everybody else. Iowa State untested, going to be in the Players Era tournament, so I'm excited for that. But they have been dominant in the games so far. Best win was against Mississippi State. Looked dominant in that one as well. Gonzaga, their best win is against Creighton so far. They are also in the Players Era tournament, so we are about to learn a lot. I mean, that is 4 or 5 top 10 teams that are going to be in that tournament. just an absolute stacked field. Going to be a great week of college hoops, guys. A lot of big time content going to be coming out next week after we get all these feast week results. But Gonzaga, very good. Looked dominant in the second half of that Creighton game a few weeks ago. This week, they did knock off Southern Utah, did what they were supposed to do. They're up one spot here at number 9. Number 10, dropping 5 spots from number 5 to 10. We do have UConn losing at home to Arizona. It is to my number 2 team, but you expect UConn to be able to get that done at home. They were missing Terrace Reed in that game, but they do also have a really good win over BYU at home. You could say BYU was missing Kiba Keita for a majority of that game, which is their starting center. So Terrace Reed, big loss in that game. He's had an awesome start to the season. Get him back. They can get back on track. I think this UConn team has a lot of potential for this season. I still have them in the top 10 here at 10 for now. Number 11, jumping up 3 spots, we do have the Michigan Wolverines. That close game against Wake Forest, not looking as iffy now that Wake Forest has also taken Texas Tech to the wire. Michigan is undefeated. They have a really good front court between Mraz Johnson, Ade Mara, and Yaxel Lindenberg. Very, very stacked front court. Michigan is definitely going to be a problem. The Big Ten, very, very deep this year. Maybe going to be conversations about them being the best conference this year. I mean, they are deep. Illinois here at number 5, another Big Ten, or at number 12, dropping 5 spots, another Big Ten team here. They did take that loss to Alabama. They drop out of the top 10. I still think they're very good. Andre Stojakovic has been awesome, especially in the big games this year. In the win over Texas Tech and the loss over against Alabama, he has shown up big time. Illinois, very good roster. I definitely think they are still a top team in the country, so I couldn't drop them too far. They're still here at number 12. Number 13, I do have the Florida Gators staying put here at number 13. A few good wins against Florida State, against Miami this year. Against Miami was their best win so far for sure, and they had a close one against Arizona. So very good team. They need to get Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee both going. If they can get that backcourt going, Florida is a top 10 team 100%. Their front court is so amazing. Thomas Hall and Alex Condon have been playing outstanding. They need their backcourt to show up as well. BYU here at number 14, jumping up 1 spot after that dominant win over Wisconsin. Still, their only loss was that 1-point loss to UConn without Kiba Keita during most of that game, and looked so good against Wisconsin. Good win against them and a good win against Villanova already this year. They are going to be a problem. Playing through Dibansa in the post, kicking it out to threes has been awesome for them, and also having Rob Wright to be a playmaker. This team is very, very good. North Carolina jumping up 3 spots here. Some teams ahead of them lost, so I kind of gave them some respect for that Kansas win early in the season. But undefeated so far, looking really good. Caleb Wilson is another really good freshman. He is definitely going to be a lottery pick. I think he might be one of the best defenders in the country, not just freshman. He's a beast, super athlete as well. North Carolina here at number 15. Number 16, we do have Tennessee jumping up 1 spot. Untested, excited to see them play some better competition here coming up, but for now they are staying put here at 16. 17, we do have St. John's. They are up 2 spots. They do have a loss to Alabama this year, but other than that, they have been killing the competition. Another team I'm excited to see them go up against some other high-level competition. NC State up 3 spots into the top 20 here at 18 this week. Very good win against VCU. VCU, definitely one of the better teams in the A10 this year. I think they proved that against NC State, but NC State was able to hold on. Darren Williams is an absolute beast. This NC State team is gritty. They are going to be scary come March Madness. I would not want to draw them in round 1 for sure. Texas Tech here at number 19, dropping 3 spots. I really debated dropping them more, but I don't feel like anyone, that close behind them has really proven themselves to be above them at this point. but they did take their second loss in a beatdown. I mean, they got the belt from Purdue, and it just was not, it wasn't pretty at all. And I really did kind of want to drop them a little bit further because they also did lose in a close one to Illinois on the road. But I decided just to drop them 3 spots here as the number 20 team staying put here at number 20. Arkansas did not look too good last week. They had a very close one against Winthrop that they almost lost at home. They almost lost to Winthrop. Came back against Jackson State and blew them out like they were supposed to do. But I'm a little bit iffy on Arkansas. They are definitely a team that I need to watch a little bit more and see how much I really trust them. But for now, I'm going to stay put here at number 20. But they did not look good against Winthrop. Almost lost that one. 21, we do have Indiana jumping up 1 spot. Another team untested. Looking forward to seeing them play more, but undefeated. Very good start to the DeVries era there for the Hoosiers. Number 22, we do have Auburn jumping up 1 spot, 22. They did take a loss to Houston, but looked really good in that game. They're definitely better than that very close game that went to overtime against Bethune-Cookman that kind of turned me off on Auburn there at the start. They're better than that, and they took Houston to the wire and was competing with them, which proves that. I look for them to climb definitely into the top 20, maybe even to the top 15 here in the very near future. Number 23, another team that I do expect to continue to climb, and that is St. Mary's. They're jumping up 3 spots. They're in the top 25 at 23. Have looked awesome so far this year. I think this might be one of the better St. Mary's teams we have seen. Randy Bennett has this team firing on all cylinders. They are blowing out some really good mid-majors, and they just continue to do it, guys. St. Mary's this week, it was Arkansas State. They beat Ohio, St. Thomas, just destroying these other really good mid-major programs that are coming in. So the Gales, very, very good. They deserve to be here at 23 for sure. 24, biggest faller, other than a few teams that fell completely out of the rankings that we will get to here shortly. Dropping 12 spots from number 12 to number 24. I mean, they just were not hitting their shots at all against Michigan State. I know that Jaden Quaidens is still not back. They are really missing him down low. I think that he is going to really help this team defensively, especially, but also on offense. Just having that big who can stretch the floor is going to be very good for this team. But they're a deep team. I'm interested to see how they bounce back from this, but they're dropping 12 spots here. Still in my top 25, barely here at 24, taking their second loss to Michigan State. Also lost to Louisville. Those are 2 top 10 teams, though, so still sitting here at number 24. Georgetown staying put here at 25. Looking really good. They have an awesome backcourt of KJ Lewis and Malik Mack. Good win over Clemson, which has aged beautifully, I might say, after Clemson went in and beat West Virginia and Georgia back-to-back to win the Charleston Classic. So that was very impressive. That looks even better for Georgetown now. That was a very good win. They're staying put here at number 25. Still undefeated so far. Nebraska, one of my biggest risers this week, jumping up 8 spots to 26. Nebraska ball is looking really good, and they got some very good close wins already to start this season, which is going to help them make March Madness later in the year. Very good win against Kansas State, especially this week, and also against New Mexico. Very good wins. Nebraska ball is back, and they're here in the Bracketology rankings at 26. Have their eye on the top 25. 27, we do have Oklahoma State. They've had some impressive wins this year, especially against Texas A&M. They were supposed to be in my rankings last week. They were in week 2, but not week 3, just because honestly, that was just my mistake. I completely forgot about them, but they were in this range 2 weeks ago. Last week they weren't in the rankings because I missed them, but this is where they were supposed to be. Here at 27, they're staying put pretty much, but basically they were unranked, but were supposed to be. giving some respect here to the Pokes. 28, we do have Missouri. 29, Oregon. 30, Ohio State. All three of those teams staying put, doing what they were supposed to do. Missouri beat South Dakota. Oregon beat Oregon State, which Oregon State's kind of stinky this year, but still, Oregon, even though they've had some close ones against some mid-majors that you would expect them to blow out, they're still sitting there undefeated. Ohio State's one of the more interesting teams in the country for me right now because they're undefeated. Bruce Thornton is one of the best bucket getters in college basketball, but they've had some close ones. They had a big-time comeback win against Notre Dame, which was very impressive, probably their most impressive win of the season. They had a shootout against IU Indy where they put up over 100 points, 120 points, but gave up 100 points to IU Indy. Very interesting team here for Ohio State this year. Got a win against Western Michigan this week. Bruce Thornton's a beast. They're undefeated. They deserve to be ranked up to this point, but I'm interested to see if a big fall off is coming for the Buckeyes or if they are just going to continue to hang around this spot and possibly rise into the top 25, because I could see them getting there, and maybe Jake Diebler is proving to be a very good head coach. We will see in the very, very short future. 31, we do have UCLA staying put. Got a good win over Sac State. I guess you can call it a good win. Not good enough to move up. They're staying here at 31. 32, we do have Vanderbilt. Got a win over Texas Southern. I actually really like Vanderbilt. I expect them to be in and out of the top 25 this year. Very tough there in the SEC, so we will see. Definitely a tournament team. They have a lot of really good guards. 33, they weren't ranked. They were on the teams to watch last week. It is Iowa. Bennett Sturts, Ben McCollum, head coach, Iowa basketball, is back. They're here in the top 35. Iowa looking really good. Untested. We'll see as they keep going. They got a big win over, not a big win, but a large margin win over Xavier, which has aged a little better since Xavier had a pretty good performance in the Charleston Classic. They beat West Virginia in the losers bracket and almost knocked off Georgia in the first round. And I think Georgia's a pretty good team. So yeah, that win against Xavier is looking better for Iowa for sure. 34, we do have Virginia Tech. They were another team that was on the teams to watch last week. Very good, somewhat untested, undefeated, sitting here at 34. 35, we do have Baylor staying put. They were actually a team, one of the only teams, maybe the only team, that played 0 games this week. They literally didn't play a game this week. So they were at 35 last week. They're staying at 35 this week. Another team that is in that Players Era tournament. So Baylor going to be playing some high-level competition. I think they played Creighton today here on Monday to start it off. So that is going to be a very good game, as Creighton is one of my top teams to watch, as it is time to get into now teams to watch, teams that are very close to making it but just didn't quite make the cut, or teams that just fell out of the rankings trying to get back in. Clemson looking really good. Only losses to my 25 team, Georgetown, on the road, true road game. Won the Charleston Classic, looking really good. They are here on the top of the teams to watch. Kansas, 2 losses to Duke and North Carolina so far this year. Still a very good team. They didn't have Darren Peterson in the loss to Duke as well. So I still think they are a very good team, and they are on the teams to watch. San Diego State took a very tough double overtime. One of those to Troy. And then Troy went on to triple overtime against USC like 2 days later on that West Coast road trip there for the Troy Trojans. So very interesting trip there. Troy is going to be a force in the Sun Belt this year, but nonetheless, San Diego State can't take that loss. I still think they're a very good team. They're in the Players Era tournament, so look out for them, but they're still on the teams to watch. Wisconsin took a big-time loss to BYU, got blown out. They fell out of the rankings this week. Creighton still on the teams to watch, just like last week. Like I said, they play Baylor here today, so that is going to be an awesome game to watch. Georgia took the loss to Clemson, so they are still on the teams to watch, though. Very, very good game. Ole Miss on the teams to watch. Undefeated, untested. Best win against Memphis, which Memphis, they've been up and down this year, so really hard to tell kind of how to take that win, but I still think Ole Miss pretty good. Definitely deserve to be a team to watch. Santa Clara has looked really good so far this year. They are undefeated up to this point in the season. Got another good win over Louisiana this week. Santa Clara, I mentioned them last week in the teams to watch. Kind of cooking over there, so look out for the Broncos, guys. Utah State, they are actually the last game of the day here on Sunday night, and they are playing Davidson. Both of those teams are undefeated. I expect Utah State to win. They are about 9-point favorites, but it is possible they took a loss to Davidson. If they win that game, they definitely would rise higher on my teams to watch and definitely are borderline in the Power 35. So Utah State, definitely a team to watch. I'm going to watch them as soon as I'm finished with this video. See if they are going to do what they're supposed to do and defeat Davidson. If Davidson wins that game, look out for them as a sneaky team in the A-10. Next up, we got Liberty. Liberty undefeated, looking really good as a mid-major. I think the Flames are going to be a force this year. I would not want to play them round one of the March Madness tournament. SMU is undefeated, definitely deserve to be a team to watch. Boopy Miller has been a very good scorer for them already. Very good pickup for them. USC, I just mentioned they went to 3 overtimes with Troy, but they are undefeated. This could be the team that gets Musselman back in the tournament for the first time as the coach of USC. I think it's possible, but the Big Ten is very, very deep. Like I mentioned, Villanova only losses to BYU. They've been winning, looking pretty good under Kevin Willard, so we will see. And the last team to watch is Northern Iowa. Undefeated. They might be the best team this year in the Missouri Valley. It's not Drake. It's not Bradley. Those teams have not been off to good start. It might be Northern Iowa, so look out for them. But that wraps up the Dannyology Power 35 rankings heading into week 4 of college basketball. Let me know who should be higher, who should be lower, who got snubbed. Let me know all that down below in the comment section, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button and that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, guys. We are super close. We should get there this season. A ton more content coming your way. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.